I predict that what I'm about to share will hopefully rock your world as you understand the science behind the why of guidelines 2, 3, and 4. They're all having to do with when we eat as opposed to what we eat. Because it's actually when is equally as important as what we eat. Such as guideline number 2, which is to eat 2 to 3 meals per day, spaced at least 5 hours apart. Guideline number 3 is no snacking, and guideline number 4 is no eating past 6:30 at night. So buckle up, because all this is incredibly important for your success. Okay, here goes. Now, we've probably all heard the myth that we should eat first thing in the morning to get our metabolism going, then we should eat every 2 hours. In other words, have breakfast, snack, lunch, snack, dinner, snack. That is actually horrible advice, especially for weight loss. What we instead want to do is give our body a break from digestion and constant insulin and space our meals at least 5 hours apart so our body can get out of the digestive state. Because when we're digesting our food, our body can never move on to other processes like fat burning, cell restoration, and hormone regulation. Whenever we eat, we trigger an insulin response. And insulin acts like a key that opens the receptors on our cells to allow nutrients and energy inside that are going to be used for energy. And the problem with frequent eating is that we continually bombard cells with insulin, and eventually our cells become insulin resistant, which leads to all kinds of problems like type 2 diabetes. We want to keep our eating window to specific times. Now, some people on this program prefer to eat only 2 meals per day. For example, they'll eat brunch around 11 and then dinner around 4:30 or 5. So if you're trying to fit 3 meals into your day, you need to make sure that you finish breakfast by 8 o'clock in the morning. So whether that's your coffee with cream or your, along with your first meal, so that you can again eat at 1 o'clock, so you'll be finished by 1:15, and then you can eat again at 6:15 to be finished by 6:30. And the reason that you want to be finished by 6:30 is because you'll want to give your body a break from insulin and digestion all the way through the night until your first meal the next day. So the good thing you'll discover is that on this program, with eating higher fat, you'll be burning fat for energy instead of carbs, and you're going to feel so much more satisfied for a longer period of time. And remember that insulin is also considered the fat storage hormone, because if insulin takes nutrients to a cell that's already full, it's going to just store those nutrients as fat on your belly or in your liver. However, when we're putting 5 hours between meals, our cells are no longer full and they will be more receptive to insulin. And what about guideline number 3, no snacking? Well, the reason being is that anytime we eat 50 calories or more, it's going to trigger an insulin response. Fat burning hormones such as leptin and adiponectin are suppressed by insulin, so we can't burn fat when insulin is present. And that's why we want insulin to come in, do its job, and then get the heck out of our system. So this is why we don't want to snack, because it will sabotage our weight loss progress. Now, snacking sabotage happens anytime we're having more than 50 calories in our coffee, for example, or when we're nibbling a bite here and there as we're cooking. So wondering what's up with guideline number 4, why no eating after 6:30 at night? It's because you'll really want several of these awesome things to happen during the overnight fast. Blood levels of insulin drop significantly, which facilitates fat burning. An overnight fast has been shown to have benefits for insulin resistance and lead to a reduction in blood sugar levels, especially when combined with limited carbs at night. Human growth hormone increases during an overnight fast. Higher levels of HGH help facilitate fat burning and muscle growth, among many other benefits. So lower insulin levels, higher HGH levels, and increased amounts of norepinephrine all help the breakdown of body fat for energy. And then there's also autophagy. which is a really important cellular repair process which removes waste material from cells. And this involves the cells breaking down and metabolizing broken and dysfunctional proteins that build up inside the cells over time. So not only does autophagy increase the growth of new brain neurons, it also may provide protection against several killers, including cancer and Alzheimer's. Fasting also promotes beneficial changes in several genes and molecules related to longevity and protection against disease. In other words, good genes are turned on and bad genes are turned off. Short-term fasting increases our metabolic rate, helping to burn even more calories, and fasting may also enhance the body's resistance to oxidative stress, one of the many factors of accelerated aging in many chronic diseases, and it also helps fight inflammation, which is at the root of disease and pain. Fasting has been shown to improve numerous different risk factors for heart disease, including blood sugar levels, blood pressure, triglycerides, the bad LDL cholesterol, and inflammatory markers. So during our overnight fast from 6:30 until the first meal the next day, all those wonderful health and fat burning benefits are happening. Now, aren't you glad you understand the science behind why 3 out of the 7 guidelines have to do with when we eat? So now that you know that when you feel a little grumbly in the tummy, don't rush to feed it. That grumbly ghrelin is a great sign of fat-burning hormones going to work, insulin receptors becoming more sensitive, cellular autophagy, lower insulin, inflammation, and oxidative stress, plus a raft of other benefits. So it's helpful to focus on those benefits. Take a couple of deep breaths and drink a 16-ounce glass of water or a cup of tea. So follow these guidelines of when to eat and embrace a little grumbly in your tummy until it's been a full 5 hours. You can do this because it's so worth it. And I'm just curious, did this information rock your world?